I am putting down things to make me win, quote unquote, and I am resistant to putting down the things that I should be putting down, the things that are actually going to move me forward to the highest degree. 4:26 p.m. on April 7th, 2019. Rest in peace, kitties. This was my cats, Spark and Moxey, their birthday, but they're both dead now. Love them lots. So anyways, today's Reflections 39, I think it is, and I'm fasting right now. I'm in a little bit of a weird state though, because I woke up so late. My sleep schedule's just fucked. I'll talk about this more in this episode, but anyways, without further ado, let's get quickly into Reflections. Reflections is a weekly episode where I get on camera to share the highlights of my week, the lessons I learned, where I grew, challenges I experienced, what worked, what didn't, etc. And to give a timestamp of my week in a given point in history. So, without continuing, I'm just gonna let's just get right into it and hopefully have a good show. And equally, I don't give a fuck if we have a good show. I'm just gonna be and see how this goes. What's been on my mind? Nipsey Hussle's death. This was fucking heartbreaking to me. Death does not usually impact me much because for me, I just believe it's a transition into the spiritual. I think the exact same thing for this. But there's something that just really triggered me about Nipsey's death, and there's a possibility that I might go out in that type of way. So, and not to say like shot, but there's just a possibility that I might end up facing big corporations like that, and they decide, hey, let's pull the trigger on this guy. Not trying to be controversial, just the fucking truth. Been thinking about how much time I'm wasting on consuming dumb shit, specifically because I'm about to consume even more dumb shit, which is sports, because the Leafs made the playoffs this week, which means I'm about to watch anywhere from 4 to 7 games or more, depending on if they advance, which is going to be tough because it's Boston, and the Leafs are just ice cold right now. So we'll see how that goes. And my early prediction is that we're going to take Boston in 6, and I think we'll probably get swept in the next round, or one game, because the Lightning are just so damn good. But I, for some reason, have confidence that we're about to pass this round. Also thinking a lot about Ever After. Very excited for Ever After. It's going to be fucking phenomenal. And equally trying to take it off a pedestal and make sure I remind myself that it's just a weekend. It's done in 3 days. And then, I can spend so much time, this is what I did last year, I spent so much time thinking about the future that I forgot to appreciate the present. And then when the future arrived, which was Ever After, I appreciated it, but not nearly as much as I could have if I was appreciating the present before Ever After and during Ever After, because it's just a pattern of, if you are future focused, you're going to be future focused when you hit that future as well. You're just never going to be fully present. Just the truth. Okay, I love dropping bombs early in the fucking episode. Also noticed the past has been on my mind a lot, which is really fucking dumb because it's not serving me to be on top of mind like that. Also 1:37 p.m. I'm seeing it everywhere still, just insane. But the first of that, the past, gotta take that off my mind more and start thinking more about the future because it's just a waste of energy and time. What were my favorite wins? Easily my favorite win for the week was Bulgarian split squats, 165 pounds for 6 reps. Yep, 6 reps. And I'm just pumped. I cannot wait to be able to be strong enough to do 2 people on top of me for a shoulder ride. That is my main motivation for legs. Also, I just want to make them bigger, of course, and more strong. But I'm just pleased at how this is going. I'm almost at fucking body weight for 5 to 6 reps. I should be at body weight for 5 reps. We'll see how this goes. But anyways, super proud of that. I scheduled parts of my day from Monday to Friday. Saturday and Sunday, today's Sunday obviously, I am kind of just being more relaxed with, just because mostly because I'm waking up so goddamn late and it's just frustrating. Anyways, but the point of it is trying my best to schedule right now and build the habit and make it easy as fuck. I'm really struggling with the estimation of times. I still suck ass at that, but it's getting better. I also really suck at following the schedule. There's just something about free flowing that I like so much more still. So I have to just figure out and keep navigating and going back and forth, trial and error. I'll get there. JMR, I've been paused on for fucking an eternity, it feels like. Anyways, 013 to 018 are selected and ordered now. So progress, which is exciting. I love JMR so much. So anyways, pleased with that. Also started doing audio pre-rolls before my podcast for the audio version. And I also include the audio branding first. So, taking some pages out of Gary's podcast book. I also have to do a better job of making sure I'm doing the timestamps. But that's another side note. But it's nice to have these like previews before the episode, and I quickly summarize what the episode is about, and give people a taste so they're more inclined to stay and have an idea of what they're getting themselves into. I also love the branding. That's there now because it's great. It needs to sound better on iPhone though. It's not sounding the best on my iPhone speaker. What worked? Hitting less reps on Bulgarian split squats and focusing more on increasing weights. That is what helped me get that PR. And I am just so exhausted after 8, so moving it to 6 for the first set is just so much better. Allocating time daily to job search, and I fucking hate this, honestly. It just drives me insane, but it feels at least nice to be able to push my comfort zone with that, and I just feel so underqualified for everything, but still trying. I have an awful habit of almost like arguing with people online, whether it's like Twitter or like Instagram comments, Facebook comments, etc. I have a bad habit of this, but this week I was doing a better job of not responding to things. I can still say something, but I just don't necessarily need to respond to the replies I get, which is a great thing, because if people are really like mean in their replies or mean in their, or like I don't even need to start the conversation to begin with, but if I happen to say something and then they really come back with something mean or not worth my time, I just don't have to reply, and I forget this at times. Sometimes I feel like I need to defend myself, but honestly, some of the best reward is just letting people not be replied to. It's like so sweet. Using a third-party authority to help influence an outcome that I do not have much say over because I'm not an authority in this aspect. So I have a friend and he's a DJ, and I wanted him to, I do want him to focus more on production, but my opinion is just whatever. Like, I'm just a dubstep consumer, okay? But I wanted him to focus more on production because production is infinitely more important than DJing, and I was kind of waiting for the right time to say it because I just didn't want to be like, yo, do this. I just didn't want to seem like a dick, okay? It's also not my call. It's whatever he does is up to him, right? So that was a challenge. But what I used to overcome that is there was a Q&A with a producer that him and I both respect. And I asked the producer a question, knowing full well what he would say, which was focus on production. I gave him the option of, would you focus on DJing, production, or both? And the dude that we both respect, his name's Tazoki, he said production 100,000%. And I knew he was going to say something like that. That's kind of why I asked it. And I ended up screenshotting that, sending it to my friend, and my friend ultimately, it did impact him, which was great because it was through the third party authority, and that was just really cool to watch. And I love shit like that, and I'm glad he's taking the time to do that because it's so fucking crucial. If you're a DJ, focus the fuck on production. It's just so much more important, because if you want to be that world-class DJ, those guys are the ones that are playing their own fucking tunes. They're rocking full sets filled with their tunes, and it's just a massive requirement in order to be a success, in my opinion, in the music industry. Or not even in my opinion, it's just kind of like fact. You need that shit if you want to be a world-class DJ. The best part about this was that he messaged me later that day and said he wants to focus on production and take a break from mixing and DJing temporarily. And then we just quickly went back and forth, and I'm just fucking really, really thankful he chose that. It's a really smart move. Allocating time this weekend to catching up on things. I am behind on a lot of shit right now. I mean, feel like this is just a never-ending thing. That might be a limiting belief, but it just always feels like I'm behind on things. Anyways, took some time this weekend to catch up on some stuff that is like completely random, like fucking filling up waters or rearranging my room, and I'm about to cut some bananas today. Like just random shit like this. That's just like a big fucking list of things that I need to do. Feels nice to get some catch up done. What didn't work and how can I improve it? Trying to track daily habits in my head and doing it all mentally. It just doesn't fucking work for me anymore. I used to use a list, and I stopped using a list and tried to do everything in my head. It's just not the best. So anyways, I started using this app called Productive. It's worked pretty well so far in the first 2 days. Talk about it more next week when I continue using it, but liking it so far. Going to bed so late. So right now, I've spent multiple days where I plan on going to bed early. It's like, oh God, it's so fucking frustrating. I end up wanting to go to bed early and then I get sidetracked and like something always happens because I'm creating it energetically where I end up getting distracted with something or getting excited or whatever, and then I don't go to bed early and it's the most fucking annoying thing. I just need to get to bed early. I'm so scared of being bored, of just sitting there and feeling like I'm wasting my time. But the reality is I've just gotta fucking sit there, listen to some audios and meditate and I'll fucking fall asleep. And if I don't, I will fall asleep soon. And if I keep doing that over and over, I will correct my sleep schedule, but it's just so bad right now. I'm going to bed at like 3 a.m., 4 a.m., waking up at anywhere from 10 p.m. or 10 a.m. till like 1 p.m. I think it was today. I was like, oh God, this is rough. So shit like that. I'm just frustrated by the entire fucking thing because it feels so shitty waking up late and going to bed late right now. And also on the sleep schedule, if it's taking too long for my power list to happen, if I'm waking up way too late, like today, I might just have to take a fucking L. Purposeful L's once in a while on the power list are really fucking crucial because my sleep schedule is so whack right now. I just need that shit. And I'd maybe just go to bed at 7 p.m. Like, it's not the end of the fucking world if I take an L on the power list, as much as my ego would like to convince myself that it is. Aimless consumption. This is just, whether this is like Twitter or watching a movie or I don't know, there's like a million different ways this can show up, but watching a YouTube video, like there's so many different ways. And I feel like I regret most of them at the end of the day or the next day because it's just time I could be spending in better ways. So the actionable I came up with is ask myself, is this serving my purpose or is it not? Is it moving me closer to my goals or is it not? And if it's not on purpose, just don't fucking do it. If it does feel aligned with the purpose, do it. And I'm going to need some escapism here and there. It's just a requirement to life, I think. But I don't need a ton. I don't need as much as my brain would like to convince myself of, or my ego rather would like to convince myself of. Little tasks. I suck at doing little tasks. I only like doing big tasks. It's the most, it's just much more exciting working on bigger chunks rather than a bunch of little small things. It just drives me fucking crazy. I don't know why. This is just the case. It probably is related to the power list and ingraining that in my brain. But anyways, I'm awful at doing small tasks. But what I found could work is me collecting a list of on a certain topic. So maybe it's like health to-dos or like Moxey energetics. Like I'll collect a list of small things and then I'll create a time block. And in that time block, I will just go over all those small little things and batch them all together because I'm so bad at doing one little thing and then doing a big thing and then another little thing. I'd rather just do 10 little things all at once in that time period because it just does not work with my mindset at all. Taking too long on tasks right now. So for one, I am awful at predicting how long a task is going to take. So that's challenging, but if I can do that and properly schedule it, this is going to clear up a lot using things like Parkinson's law and so forth. But it's just, where's I going with this? Oh yeah, so just being able to sit down and, for example, with editing, I take too long at editing right now. So would be awesome to just set a timer, sit down, judge myself less, keep heart, because when I judge myself, I end up getting really tired and I want to quit and then I'm useless. And it's like, when I'm in that state of mind, is not a good time to work or do things. I'm just not going to get anywhere close to the outcome I'm looking for. or maximizing my time as effectively as I could when I'm in a good state of mind or a frame of mind. But things like that, and just being okay with quote unquote being bored. Maybe having a song loop in the background for that repetition to make things a little bit more interesting. Stuff like that. There's a whole slew of actionables I can give here, but just sit the fuck down, do it, keep myself self-accepting with things and not overly judgmental, and stay the fucking course and embrace the boredom, quote unquote. Pretty aimless in my thinking right now. I'm not thinking at the level I should be. Like, I would love to ask myself questions all day. I would love to be focusing on my dream board all day. I would love to be focusing on my chief aim and what I'm learning, all that jazz. But I'm not, okay, I am focused on what I'm learning, but if I'm not, why can't I just like learn from anything and just like that present moment, that type of stuff. So I've got to be better with keeping my thoughts more purposeful and more aligned to my purpose and my goals and my dreams, etc. Because it feels like I'm wasting too much thought right now. I've talked about this in weeks past, but it's still fucking true because I have not corrected it. Being lazy as fuck. So right now I'm doing this subliminal, and I remember I did this subliminal for 8 months last year. It was from, it was late 2017 to about August. It was August 2018 is when it ended. And this subliminal fucking kills my motivation, not my discipline, but just like my motivation is not nearly as high when I'm on the subliminal. Forgot about this, and it has to be corrected right now. So I'm going to start adding the subliminal I was on previously, which is made by my friend Achint, and it really helps with keeping the drive high, the ambition high, the focus high, the motivation, all that jazz. So I'm much more, I just want to make it easier for myself to take action, not harder. And I want to be so sloth when I'm on this one subliminal I'm rocking right now. So just adding a few extra loops of CGT, I don't know what it's being called these days, but whatever the main product is that Shint is developing, that is what I'm listening to. And it's going to really help because I'm just not at my normal capacity right now. It's fucking frustrating. Like, looking at my wins this week was like insanely disappointing. I should have got so much more done, and I wasted way too much time. What were my biggest lessons? Fuck, I have low-key gut rot right now, and it feels like shit because I just drank some, I'm on a 24-hour fast, if I didn't say this already. I think I did. And I just drank some Old English tea, and Jesus, I forgot this gives me, I was hoping it was just a one-time thing. It's clearly not, because I'm experiencing it again right now. This fucking sucks. Anyways, let's continue. The best way to create a job for yourself is to find a specific problem that a company or individual is having and then solve them based on the skills you bring to the table and what you can uniquely are able to fix. So there's a concept that's floating around a lot, especially in Vayner Nation land, which is, or Gary Vee world, if whatever the fuck you want to call it, of working for free. And I am a big supporter of working for free. I feel like a lot of people do get their start from working for free because they lack leverage. That's the whole point of working for free. And you should look into that if you want to. With that key aspect in mind, the leverage part, that's when you should work for free. But a lot of people throw themselves and are just like, yo, I'll do whatever. I can work for free. Just let me work for free. You're never going to get hired like that because you're not bringing to the table specific value, okay? It's going to be taking them time and resources to train you and to bring you on and onboard you. So that is actually ROI negative for a lot of people. And I would just strongly suggest that if you're going to try to work for free, you need to start with the challenge that a person is having or a company is having and then solve it. That is the best way to create value, and that will catapult you to, I think, great success long term. And it's honestly, it's more than just working for free. It's just like, do that in every fucking area of your life. It's really crucial. I need to do a better job of that myself, honestly. Some SEO tricks I've learned this week. Number 1, write mini blog posts. And in those blog posts, use keywords and give enough juice that it excites the person, but don't give away the full steak. And so that's number 1. Number 2, use related keywords or use like word for word a bunch of keywords of videos you want to show up in the suggested for. And I think that's a great way of getting extra exposure. If you're not going to be showing up on the rankings, you can be showing up in terms of search. You can show up in the related videos of a specific video that is getting a lot of traction. Number 3, say your keywords in your video and YouTube will pick it up. I never even thought of that, but it's so fucking true because they do have that type of technology that it'll figure out what the fuck you're saying, generally speaking. So that's another good one as well. Big shout out to Brian from Backlinko, by the way. That's where I got these tips from. If I don't feel like taking action in a specific area, it can be just great to get 1 or 2 tasks done in that specific target, or even honestly just like in general, because as soon as I throw myself in the area of action, I can start kind of just like navigating myself between different topics, so long as I am in motion. That's like my favorite feeling of all time, just being in motion purposefully. Anyways, the point is though, if I'm not feeling like doing something, just do 1 or 2 things regardless of how I feel. And then after I do those things, I'm almost always in a much better place and can apply that momentum going forward to whatever I needed to. The closer someone is to thinking they're perfect, the more broken they probably are. And with all due respect to people who don't, it's just true. It's fucking true. Anyways, these people have some sort of like insecurity around being vulnerable, whether it's even with themselves or just like the fear of confronting things, knowing that they aren't perfect inside. I just wish these people would get to the fucking truth and realize that, first of all, no one's fucking perfect. We're all broken as shit. And secondly, they're holding themselves back from greater potential if they were to properly deploy self-awareness and take real stock of what's going on, because we all have fucking weaknesses. We're all broken in some aspect. And the faster people realize that, the closer you can get to true self-esteem. Like, I'm broken as fuck. Just am. Like, I have tons of weaknesses, and I feel like I'm at my highest self-esteem I have ever been at right now. And I am also simultaneously the most vulnerable I've ever been, and the most self-aware, the most accepting that I am broken as fuck, and that everyone else is too. Like, it's not that bad to just understand that we have tons of flaws as human beings. We're fucking human. We're fucking human. Up until today, I really thought it was a weakness that I suck at having small talk, and I suck at like just being in basic conversation. I'm always trying to get like deep and intense and talk about interesting things and what's going on in my world. I feel like I always end up talking about success, life, psychology, or music. Music being the most shallow of those 4 topics. When I say shallow, I'm talking about opposite of deep, for the record. So, but I realized though, this is going to push away basic bitches and basic dudes and people who cannot handle this type of conversation, because that's just who the fuck I am. So it's a great filtering tool, and I never realized this until today. I always thought it was such a bad thing that I was like this, but I'm now seeing that it is a massive fucking strength to just be myself, and whoever vibes with it doesn't, or whoever vibes with it will vibe with it, and whoever doesn't, they don't, and that's fine. And then they move the fuck on, I move the fuck on. It's great. And then I find more people that are like me. It's just fucking great. Like, it stops me from associating with people I wouldn't want to associate with, which are people who are limited in thinking, who are super egotistical, what else did I write down here? Oh, idiotic people who lack depth, people who are afraid to go deep, etc. Like, if you're one of those people, love, I'm sending you love, but like, you're probably not my type of person for someone I want to keep very close. Just the truth. What challenges did I experience? Yes, I'm not enough. So this pattern has been manifesting. I've talked about this many times before, but I'm not enough. This is just all over my life right now, and I'm really realizing this week how it is keeping me in a very stuck place at an energetic level, because it's manifesting in jobs, business, relationship, networking, all of this shit, because I always feel like I'm not enough. I am not smart enough. I am not ready enough. I'm not prepared enough. I'm not good enough. All these things. And it's frustrating when people say that I'm I'm good enough is a bad thing to think. I completely disagree, and I know Andy Frisella is a supporter of I'm not good enough at all times type of thing, and I just think it's not a good thing if it's keeping you in inaction, and that is currently what is happening with me, and it's fucking frustrating. So this is a challenge that I have to address. I'm doing what I can. There's going to be a separate video on this at some point, or a separate episode rather, and as I work through the challenges, you'll see a little bit of what's going on there, but this is just a fucking really important challenge, and I have to solve it because it is holding me back from maximizing my potential right now. Resistance to putting down really hard shit or challenging stuff that might make me, quote unquote, lose my game. So with things like the power list, this is a daily tool I use, and I got it from Andy Frisella, and you can listen more about that or learn more about that at MFCEO episode 107 if you want to Google that, or I'll put it in the show notes in the resources section. But in this tool, I realize I am not using it to its full potential because I am stopping myself from putting down too many tasks that might make me lose. So, for example, I'm resistant to putting down things such as DM X amount of people because I'm scared that I might not do that and then I ultimately might lose, which is such a fucking stupid thing. That's what it's there for. It's supposed to make you lose if you're not doing the things you know you should do that are outside of your comfort zone. And I'm getting just too fucking soft with it. Like, I am putting down things to make me win, quote unquote, and I am resistant to putting down the things that I should be putting down, the things that are actually going to move me forward to the highest degree. And it's just, I saw it with the powerless. I also saw it with, as I was inputting into my tracker for the productive app, whatever it's called on the App Store. As I was putting stuff in there, I was noticing myself like being resistant to putting down big things that I knew were going to count me as a loss for that day. Like, I just had to learn to love this losing process or just get over myself and just put the fucking thing down, because like something such as reaching out to people for Moxey energetics, I'm scared to put down because I just don't want to lose that fucking day. That's so fucking dumb. I had to put it down. It's paramount to my success. And there's something also just about putting down things I kind of can't or that are less outside of my control. Does that make sense? That are less in my control, I mean. And yeah, it's just gotta be fixed ASAP. I cannot continue like this. Subconscious resistance to traction. So number one, Ever After playlist. I was looking at it, more people added it. I was like, fuck yeah. But there's a pattern that shows up in a second. Number two, with ratings on iTunes. I appreciate you guys. You have given me 3 5 stars on iTunes, which makes me excited. And at the same, and actually 4 or 5 stars because I 5-starred myself after I realized I could. Anyways, with that though, I noticed myself subconsciously trying to push it away as soon as I saw it happening. I was like, it was my ego trying to take me away from change and stop me from changing and stop me from progressing. And it was just like, wow, okay. I started judging way too hard. And it was just like all of these, it was just like a swirl of just shit I shouldn't have been thinking. And I was judging the whole process. And it was just like, it was awful. And I just noticed that needs to be worked on ASAP at an energetic level and a subconscious level, because it was like pushing people away as soon as I realized that. It was fucking crazy. And I was just, yeah, I was just, yeah, I don't even know what to say. I'm done. Gonna move on to the next thing now, but just damn, it's a fucking deadly pattern, and I'm thankful I noticed it now, because then I can correct it, because there's nothing worse than it going completely unconscious and then it completely sabotages me. Struggling to predict time effectively and allocate time and follow the schedule and a lot of things just regarding scheduling is fucking hard for me, but it is growing me. But anyways, that type of stuff is very hard for me. This is fucking frustrating. Instagram stories deleting their archive. It's just like disappearing in front of my fucking eyes, and it makes me so fucking mad, because you guys know I care about historical documentation. I don't want things to just fucking delete and disappear, and just I'm really upset with it, and don't know what to fucking do and what's inside my control and what's not. I could download everything, but then I would have to just the dates, and it's just like it's a fucking nightmare and a half. Anyways, it could be so much worse, thankfully, but it's just frustrating because what the fuck is Instagram doing? Like, I don't want my history to be deleted. I have it archived for a reason. I wanted to be able to access that in the future when I have a historical callback or whatever, or to share some memories in the past. It's just like, come the fuck on Instagram. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Snapchat's beating you in that aspect, that's for fucking sure. A little bit frustrated with people who haven't tried SEM or NIMSEM yet, but probably should. And this is going to be like a fucking huge thing over my career, which is wanting people to do SEM and NIMSEM and energy work and stuff like that, but they're not ready to do it, or a million other reasons, and I have to just be okay with that. But it is still tough because I want to help people advance faster. Because it's just like, would you rather take a bus to the other side of the country, or would you like to take a plane? Or would you like to take time, or not time travel, what is it called? Fucking, I don't know, some sort of tool that makes you go from A to B in a snap of fucking teleportation. There we go. Bingo. Also, Moxey Energetics, I'm bullshitting right now myself with Moxey Energetics. I am just not putting in the work, and it's frustrating. I am noticing a ton of patterns around that, and I've got to fix it because it's important that I put the most I need to prioritize the top priority, and I just haven't done that. I've just let it fall to the wayside, and I feel like I'm spending way too much fucking time on content right now compared to business, and it's just stupid as fuck because I'm not a content creator first. I am an energy practitioner first, and yeah, it's just frustrating. Where did I grow the most? Saying uncomfortable things. I have just been enjoying this recently, just saying things that otherwise would scare me, or things that sometimes I just don't want to offend people, and just being more okay with just speaking my truth. I feel like I'm getting better at right now. I'm growing in a bunch of different ways. I'm not going to outline them all right now, but there was just like a bunch of little things that I felt I did a good job of this week, but there's just too many little things that it's just not worth mentioning. I'll also throw in scheduling, getting better at. I feel like I'm nowhere close to where I need to be, but I'm still trying, even though I'm completely failing at scheduling right now. But at least just trying. And job search as well. Like, that's fucking helping me grow as well, even though I fucking hate it. What am I obsessed with right now? The pie Nan made me for my birthday. If you go back to like Reflections 24 or 25 or something like that, whatever the one around Christmas Eve was, that I talk about this pie as well. And it's fucking incredible. Nan decided that she was going to make it for my birthday around that, and then she just like randomly gifted me this pie. I didn't even know I agreed to this, but I'm pumped because it's fucking beautiful. It tastes so damn nice, and I ate almost half the pie yesterday. So that's why I'm on a 24-hour fast today, because it'll end up being 36 hours by the time I eat next, but it's just so damn fucking good. I wanted to eat it with the 100. Memorizing pre-drops. Holy shit. So with Ever After coming up, I love the idea of knowing all these little like words either in the song or before the song that happen right before the drop, or like midway through the drop, etc. I get such a high off of knowing all this shit that people do not know. It's so fucking nice. It's such an ego thing. Like, such an ego thing. And related to that, also loving Samplifiers mix. Holy shit. This guy's growing on me so hard right now. That no homo. That just didn't sound great. Anyways, Samplifiers mix though, this recent one, that's the hour-long one. I think it's his fourth in his playlist right now. As I say this, and I was just amazed at how good this fucking thing was. I think I've listened to it 2 or 3 times already. It's just, wow. I don't know what else to say. It's fucking great. And yeah, doubles make me fucking crazy. And then there's a shit ton of doubles in that mix, and it's just incredible. Also loving Improving Strength, but that's it. We're done. Anyways, also side note, some of these things are so subconscious sometimes that I completely forget what I'm obsessed with. I feel like I'm just by nature just very obsessed with a lot of things and have a lot of passion towards a lot of things. So it's very hard to do this section these days because it feels like it's either just dubstep or food. But there's much more than that. I just always forget. Always. Reflections 29 in the fucking books. I need a better phrase to close out this period, this whatever this is right here, this outro, if you will, or even start the outro. Jesus Christ, I have way too much caffeine in me right now. It was not on purpose. It just happened. I didn't think I was selecting one with a bunch of caffeine, but apparently that 5 out of 5 meant a shit ton of caffeine because I'm feeling it a lot right now. Shout out breakfast. What is it? English breakfast or something like that? Anyways, it also gave me gut rot. So, fuck that tea. Anyways, my name is Josh Moxey. I don't know why I'm saying this right now. This is later. You can see how fucking amped I am on tea right now. This is disgusting. Anyways, if you liked today's episode, I would love if you could share it with a friend. Let me know what part you liked best. And also share it with them maybe what part you enjoyed the most. And if you could do me a favor, 5-star rating if you felt it was worth it. Or a 1-star rating if you felt it was worth it. Comment, subscribe, like, whatever the engagement is you feel it earned. That would be incredible. Appreciate you watching and listening as always. And without further ado, anyways, my name is Josh Moxey. Again, thank you so much for consuming this, and I will catch you later. Oh my god, Reflections 40 next week. Fuck, craziness. My stomach right now.